Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that.
See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, what's going on, Boise State fans? Happy Tuesday to you, bright and early, an hour earlier here at 8 a.m. with BJ Rains and Jay Tust. We got some conflicting schedules today with Boise State practice, with interviews, so we thought let's just well, get it out of the way is not the right word. Let's grace everyone with our presence a little bit earlier on a Tuesday. How about that, Jay? How's it going?
What time did we start the press box back in the day?
It was 9 to 11. I was actually thinking about that when we were getting set up this morning, but it was 9 to 11.
That felt earlier some days.
It did, which meant Jay could show up at like 9:01:30 when the intro was ending and be ready to go. And no, that was it did seem earlier than 9 o'clock.
Man, getting off the desk at 10:30, home at 11. Back to work at 9 by 5 days a week. What was I thinking back then?
I think back to that often, and as nice as the money was, it's like what how did we make that work? Because I don't know,
man.
A 2-hour show right now, and this one's a little nice because you could be in shorts and a t-shirt or whatever here in your house.
I am.
There you go. It's a little easier to start at 8:55 or whatever, as opposed to having to leave your house at 8:30 or 8:15.
Yeah,
a lot more involved on radio. But no, that was fun back in the day, but glad we're able to, what's the right word? Not rekindle, bring it back in some smaller form here twice a week on a shorter time period here. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. By the way, quick plug, tomorrow the Winston Venable show debuts. Winston Venable, former Boise State player, linebacker, excited to have him on board. Jay adding him to our family here at Bronco Nation News, and that will start tomorrow at 9 a.m. So Wednesdays, if you missed the announcement yesterday, Winston Venable, and he's all in, Jay. He's taking notes. We've met a couple times. He's talking about segments to the show. He's, not just doing this for the paycheck or just to get his name back out there. He's very interested in this side of the business, getting more into the media now, and trying to maybe be an analyst and that type of stuff. And he's very excited about this. So tomorrow and every Wednesday moving forward, 9 a.m., Winston Venable. I think that's going to be something fans will enjoy, Jay.
Yeah, Winston's the man. That guy, he packs he packs a punch, both with his energy and personality, and back in the day on the field. So, and guess what? I know coming up today on the show, we're gonna talk about a guy. Winston played that nickel position back in the day, right? And I feel like the guy they're putting there now mimics Winston in a number of ways, whether it be athletically, his servant leadership, whatever it might be. The guy playing that position now really mimics what Winston was all about.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Tyreque Jones. I incorrectly, just out of habit, wrote safety instead of nickel on the YouTube video when I was posting it, and had to change that real quick. The new nickel, Tyreque Jones. We'll talk about his position group. We are broadcasting live from the Cutwater Canned Cocktail Studios. You can pick up that canned mixed drink at your local gas station, grocery store, all the different flavors. There are nearly 30 flavors, whether it's tequila, vodka, gin, whiskey, you name it, all the different canned cocktails they've got there. there. So it's just much easier. And again, they're very affordable, and you don't, need nearly as many as seltzers. You can grab 2 or 3 of these and be set for the night. So check them out, your local grocery store, gas station, Cutwater canned cocktails. Going to have some more cool announcements moving forward about some giveaways and things with them. But we appreciate their sponsorship of the studios here at Bronco Nation News. Yeah, Jay, yesterday we had a chance to catch up with wide receivers coach Matt Miller. We will get to him, but I do want to start with Tyreque Jones. We've seen him, here in fall camp. We saw it in spring some, move into the nickel position, and interesting talking to him yesterday. He said that he's actually the one that himself, as we'll hear in the second clip, went to the coaches and said, hey, I like nickel. Give me a shot to stay there. And they decided to do it. And I think we all think, when we first heard about this, I think we all had the same reaction, like, okay, makes a lot of sense. Like he's just an athletic guy that, is obviously a different size and a different kind of physicality than a Kekala Kaniho. But you put Tyreque Jones in that nickel position, as long as you have somebody else that can play the safety spot in his place, I think it makes a lot of sense, and he's going to have a chance to do a lot of things there.
Hey, Kekala Kaniho was one of the toughest, smartest dudes on the football field every Saturday. Monday through Sunday for the Boise State football team over the last 4 years. But now, they get a guy that is just bigger in stature. I mean, Tyreque Jones is north of 200 pounds. He's proven that he can play at an all-conference caliber level at safety. And so now they move him down closer to the football. And I think this is an awesome move. I wondered how organic it was, BJ. It's kind of funny because our last interviews, we were talking with Shea Oladipo at the end of spring ball, and it looked like he was going to be the nickel. And I just was wondered about the timeline, and it just turned out that due to some availability, one practice, Ty was like, "Yeah, let me try it," and then it just like snowballed from there.
It was pretty crazy, yeah, and I guess he needed it in the practice because somebody was out, and he went and did it. And then there's another cool element to this where he's enlisted the help of Kekala Kaniho, the guy that dominated that, as we said, that position for 4 or 5 years. It's pretty cool for him to want to reach out to Kala and have them sit together in the film room and do some things, but also for Kaniho to want to work with him and make sure that position was in good hands. That's a pretty cool side story to this, that he's doing some film study and learning about the position from Kala.
Yeah, and there's nobody better to learn it from. I mean, he played it at a very high level over the last few years. So, I think it's an awesome move for Tyreque. His stature, his playmaking ability, his toughness, his brains. I mean, we talk about everything that made Kekala great at this position, and man, Tyreque checks a lot of boxes. And I hate to knock Kekala's size because he played so much bigger than he was, but I mean, if you look at the roster, Tyreque's a bigger body than Kekala. So you figure that he's gonna be awesome for this position. And it was interesting to hear him talk about the intricacies of it as well, because he is really in charge of a lot now playing that position in terms of getting guys aligned and all that stuff. And he said one of the biggest differences is, when you're back there at field safety, you're often the deepest guy on the field. So you see everything in front of you. All 21 other guys, you can look around on the field and you can see. And all of a sudden, he's got some blind spots behind him now that he's a little bit closer to the ball. The good thing, though, he's played those blind spots, right? So some awesome intuition that goes into this, and I think it's a great fit.
Let's hear from let's hear from Tyreque Jones talking about moving to the position and getting a chance to work with Kekala Kaniho when we met with him yesterday.
How much closer I am to the ball. So stuff's happening now, whereas when I was at field safety, I was able to scan and read everything. And then, if I had to fill an alley, I had time. Whereas, now it's boom, boom. A lot of the plays are a lot more bang, bang. So, to kind of have that, basically what I was doing before, and now it's just a lot closer. That's the biggest difference for me. It's just, like I said earlier, being patient, reading my keys, making sure that I know my job and my assignment so I can just execute, play in and play out. It is an adjustment. I mean, kind of like I said, having to be at field safety and I can scan the entirety of the play. I can see everything as it's developing, as it's going along, and then I can, adjust from there. Whereas now I would say for me, I kind of have to be ahead of it, have that anticipation and then just let my keys tell me exactly what's going on. Well, for one, you get to blitz. So I kind of I took advantage of that because, like I said, that one practice that I had with it, I was playing it and I had some blitzes and stuff, and just like I feel like it's a bit more free will with like how I can disguise, how I can move, how I can ultimately just help the defense and help this team. So, and I understood that like with Cottle leaving, I mean that's a 5-year starter. Like it's hard to replace something. It's just like if you have a 4-year starter at quarterback, like it's hard to replace something like that with a young guy. So I kind of just took the initiative and was like, hey, like I can do it. Like, you know, and it helps me and shows how versatile that I am. And like I said, it helps the defense, helps the team.
Well, there's I keep saying Kekala Canillo. Tyreque Jones talking about Kekala Canillo, and you get to blitz a little bit more and be involved closer to the line of scrimmage. Maybe you have a chance to make. I mean, when I was talking to Kane Ione at Media Day there, Jay, I'm sure you asked the same question, but I kind of said, was it an easy sell when you told him about the when he sees the stats and sees the production that a guy like Canillo had, and he said, oh, no doubt about it. And so it is different. You're in the back. You're kind of the last line of defense at safety, but now you get to kind of be up in the box and, as you said, be closer to the line of scrimmage and maybe blitz a little more and get in the backfield a little more. And I think that suits him pretty well.
Oh, I agree. And I just got some advice for any members of Bronco Nation that are watching this right now. You should be a fan of Tyreque Jones. He should absolutely be a fan favorite on this team. He's an awesome individual, a great leader. On top of all that, a hell of a football player. But I don't know, maybe I'm just being a little biased because after we got done talking with him for about 10, 12 minutes yesterday, that's usually about the length and when our interviews get cut off, understandably. But I think he's one of the first guys in history that was like, well, I'm just getting warmed up. We can keep going. We didn't, but
be careful what you wish for there. Yeah, he did say, that's it. Come on.
Just an awesome dude, an awesome individual, and I hope he has a big senior season. But that's definitely a guy that members of Bronco Nation should start paying a lot more attention to because he deserves it too. And I mean, he's back to run this thing back for a 6th year. He doesn't. I mean, you phrased it in such a literal fashion, BJ, but it's true. Like he didn't have to be here right now. Like he could have gone and tried to chase his NFL dreams and. Whether it be a guy like him or I remember Zeke Noah is
or gone and worked at
right? Yeah, seriously.
Could just given up football. Who knows?
Yeah, I think Zeke Noah said it best. Some of these guys feel like they have unfinished business after a 7-5 season last year. So they're clearly back on a mission to. I really don't even know if it's elevate their own stock as much as it is end this thing the right way. That suits what Boise State standards are more about. And so they're all kind of hell bent on that right now, and I think it's a massive reason why Tyreque came back this year. And he loves his teammates maybe more than anybody else.
Yeah. Well, before we switch and talk wide receivers, I mean the I guess effect of moving Tyreque Jones to nickel is you now have a battle at safety. You have a new guy that's going to get some playing time at safety. Rodney Robinson, Shea Oladipo. We haven't seen a lot. We haven't seen much team stuff at all. But from what we've heard, what we've deciphered from the coaches, it seems like Rodney Robinson's been getting a lot of talk publicly from some of the players and coaches. Jay, do you decipher anything on the battle at safety? Rodney Robinson, Shea Oladipo.
Either one that wins it is going to be perfectly capable of playing at a very, very high level. I mean, think about the luxury you have where you're so confident in your safety room that you take Tyreque Jones and say, we're okay moving you from safety. I mean, that's how confident they are in their safety room right now and in guys like Rodney Robinson and Shea Oladipo. And you want to talk about personalities, man, those are two outstanding characters as well. And I would actually probably call Rodney a little bit more of a character than Shea. But what two cool individuals and people on the team really like those guys. And one thing I was going to say, BJ, I was just kind of looking this up because I offered the comparison a little bit earlier between a guy like Winston Venable and Tyreque Jones, both kind of playing a similar spot. Tyreque had 53 tackles last year, and Winston's senior year he had 53 tackles as well. But playing closer to the line of scrimmage, he had 9.5 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks. So you're probably going to see similar tackle numbers for Tyreque, but you're going to see that playmaking production, whether it be stops in the backfield, hits on the quarterback. You're going to see those type of numbers really increase in Ty's game this year.
Yeah, I think it's very like I said, it was when I first thought of it, I was like, huh, okay, well, that makes sense. So I think it's going to be
It's funny. You should get Winston on here and ask him about it.
well, how about tomorrow at 9 a.m.? Let's see if I
All
can.
right, all right. Hey, try it. See what happens.
Let's make that happen. Again, Winston Venable show starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. Hey, I want to thank a couple of our great sponsors. Jay, a new vehicle for the Rains family there. Thank you to Lithia Ford of Boise and noted they did not give me a free truck. We paid full price like everybody else, but it was the service. It was the friendliness. Kim did an amazing job. The salesperson showing us some of the vehicles, became best friends with my wife. It seemed like by the end of the time that we had purchased the vehicle, but we appreciate Jim Sturk and Kim and everybody out at Lithia Ford. We're loving the new truck. And so get on out there yourself, check out their deals. It's a great process. You can look online if you want to, lithiafordboise.com to find your vehicle before you go out, or just go to they're on Fairview. They'd love to help you out. So thanks again. And yeah, great deals right now, and they'll take care of you out at Lithia Ford of Boise. Idaho Central Credit Union, another great sponsor of Bronco Nation News. You can see why over 500,000 members love Idaho Central Credit Union. 1 in 4 Idahoans becoming members over 80 years. They've helped members achieve financial success. You can manage all your Idaho Central Credit Union accounts online, anytime, anywhere with eBranch Mobile and online banking. You can learn more at iccu.com. Thanks to Transportation Compliance Service as well. Complete trucking compliance management, whether you're wanting to just be an Amazon driver and drive a truck, or wanting to get out there with a big rig 18-wheeler, they can help you out at Transportation Compliance Service. All the permits, the things you need, every step of the way, they'll get you out there and get you towing that first load. So check them out, transcompservice.com. Boise Dentistry Co. We were out there on Friday seeing Dr. Minert. Jay, I actually have the video. I should have queued it up to play, but he pulled one of Naismith's teeth on Friday. So, and I got the video, but forgot to load it in there. Maybe next week. But BoiseDentistryCo.com. Appreciate Dr. Minert, his staff. They do a tremendous job. So, full family dentistry. If you're looking for a new dentist, one that supports the local economy, supports local athletics, big BSU fan, you can check them out, BoiseDentistryCo.com. And our family's very happy with the switch we've made there. I think it's like 7 out of 9 of our sponsors, Jay, I'm actually a client of. And so I try to work with companies that I like and think do a good job and work with them. And Boise Dentistry Co. is certainly one of them. All 4 of us enjoy going out there to for our dentistry needs, and we appreciate Dr. Minert. As we switch to wide receivers, we talked to Matt Miller. We're supposed to talk to Davis Cutter. That didn't happen for whatever reason. We'll, decipher that how you want. But we did talk to Matt Miller. I don't know how else to say it, Jay. I don't know what we can or can't say, but we couldn't talk to Davis Cutter yesterday, so we'll just say that. But we did talk to Matt Miller, the wide receivers coach, and I think it was 5 or 6 questions, Jay, were about replacing Khalil Shakir. Had something to do with trying to replace Khalil Shakir. I had a couple. You had a couple. I think Bob had one. And I've kind of spliced those together and do about a two-minute clip or so. But before we play that, how do you think it's going, trying to replace Khalil Shakir, and what it's going to look like this year at wide receiver?
BJ, when you ask questions about stats, like, you can honestly only get so good of an answer because nobody is just going to be completely transparent about it. And I get it, that's fine, but the number 1 wide receiver in Boise State's offense over the last 15 years has averaged 73 catches for 1,031 yards and 8 touchdowns. Any way you splice it, somebody in this offense isn't only going to have a big year, almost has to have a big year, right? If there's 5 guys with between 35 and 45 catches, we can all say yeah, that's great, but that would be a huge anomaly for the history of Boise State football. And so it seems like Steph Cobbs is the obvious guy. Does somebody else push him for that team leading catches? I don't know. But as humble as everybody wants to be about this, as team-oriented, team goal as everybody wants to be about this, I'm just saying, BJ, somebody has to be that dude in order for this team to win at the rate that it's won in the past.
What's the average? You've given us a stat in practice, 73 catches?
73 catches, 1,031 yards, 8 touchdowns. That is the average stat line for Boise State's go-to wide receiver over the last 15 years.
So whoever is the quote-unquote number 1 this year, if it holds trend on average, should be somewhere over 70 catches, over 1,000 yards, and have 7 or 8 touchdowns. And that would be essentially more than double than what a guy like Steph Cobbs did last year.
Right. I would say we could probably lower that just a little bit because you've had seasons where guys have led the team with 62 catches. We've had seasons where there's been 88 catches. Matt Miller had 88 catches. I think Ced Wilson had 83. There is somebody else that had 88. I can't remember. It might have been Ced. But so that there's a little bit of a range there. The fewest catches. Let's look at it this way: the fewest in a season was 52, and that was Khalil Shakir during a COVID-shortened season. And so, the floor is 60, which is still about double what Steph Cobbs has ever hauled in his career. So somebody, Spurbeck, thank you, my man, Cameron Main, the main man. He's right by the way. Thank you. Somebody's going to make that jump, and it seems like he's the guy. But somebody's going to have a massive increase in production that they've never had before in their collegiate career previously.
Two very important comments here by Rudy. We'll get to the most important one first. Great win by the Idaho Metropolitans.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I worked yesterday. I had to call in sick for the game, or I just didn't play. I couldn't play. I had some family obligations, but they won without me. They killed it. They scored 24 runs. Randall Post, shout out, 5 for 5 with a jack.
How about that? Wow. Then the real important question, I guess, if you had to say who would be the starting wide receivers today, I think the Davis Cutter.
Let's assume everybody's available.
Yeah, I think the Steph Cobbs, Davis Cutter, Austin Bolt for me still seems logical. I mean, we're getting a lot of Billy Bowens talk, I guess. Maybe he stepped, but I mean, I'm still watching the order of the wide receivers at practice, and I'm not telling you anything you can't go watch on the videos we're posting. It seems like it's Cobbs, Cutter, and Bolt usually going 1, 2, 3 in a lot of these drills.
Yeah. I think
I think's in there. I think Latrell Caples potentially is in there. We're going to hear from Matt Miller in just a minute, but I think it's I would still lean Bolt over Bowens. But I mean, Bowens is certainly getting a lot of talk.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who kind of slides inside and plays that slot position, because that's usually a guy that can make a little bit more happen after the catch and stuff like that. You figure probably Cobbs is a Z. The battle for X is between Bowens and Bolt. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe Davis is your kind of savvy veteran that you move inside. We'll see how it all shakes out, but that's still definitely a highly contested position battle as we approach about the midway point of the preseason schedule for Boise State.
Again, the obvious storyline, trying to replace Khalil Shakir at wide receiver. Here is what wide receivers coach Matt Miller had to say about that yesterday.
I think it's fun as a coach because you can really coach those guys that get in different positions, and they can all affect the game in their own individual ways. Having Shaq, obviously is a very nice weapon to have. He's a very productive player, awesome person, but it's also nice having those 4, 5, 6 guys who can do a lot of a little in terms of what we're doing offensively, and it's moving around and put them in positions to be successful. Yeah, I think they're all excited for it. Now, which one's it going to be? That's the big question. And I think they're all excited to have that competitive spirit within that group. Like I always tell you guys, they're a tight-knit group, but they're also very competitive. And whoever takes that role, takes that step up and is making the plays and the game's on the line, yeah, they're going to have a successful season. But who says it can't be me? Who says it can't be the other guy? It's going to be a lot of guys having that competitive spirit, making those plays, and they're all going to support each other, which is the best part. I think the big thing for all our guys, and for me personally, it's all about winning football games, and you'll do whatever it takes to win a football game. And that's the testament we have in the receiver room right now is I don't think they care if they catch 1 pass or 25 passes in a game. They just want to win. And they're a competitive group, and that's why I love them, because they don't really care who gets the credit. They're gonna block their tails off. They're gonna make the plays when they need to go make the plays. They're gonna have a lot of fun doing it together in a competitive environment. Yeah, I think it's definitely noticeable, and it kind of gets us into a good rhythm, a good flow offensively, especially when the ball is getting spread around to different guys. Then you might get a substitution with 3 more receivers in, or a different tight end, different running back in, and a lot of guys are getting that opportunity to go make a play, and it might be an explosive play here, explosive play there, and it just creates that rhythm that we need as an offense. And Coach Plow and myself, we trust a lot of those guys in the receiver room to be interchangeable and go in different spots, and they're still going to have the ability to go make those plays. So it's a lot of fun, and it gets us in that rhythm. And when we get that rhythm, it's hard to stop. Yeah, I think they're all just playing the game, and we're trusting the rules. We're trusting the process that we have for our offense. And there's not like, hey, we got to throw the ball to this guy or throw the ball to this guy. No, it's just we're trusting the process. What the defense shows, we have our answers built in, and wherever you're at in terms of that scheme, you have the opportunity to go make a play. And then you might go make a play, and we might sub you out and get another guy in there, and then you might get an opportunity to make a play. We might hand the ball off. You might have a touchdown block as a receiver. Maybe we go run the ball and the tight end's going to get a pass catch, whatever it might be. So everybody gets involved, and it brings excitement. But the big thing is that rhythm that it creates with all 11 guys on the field. You know, I anticipate the same, and I hold all those guys the same standard. Whether you're a first-day freshman or a 6-year senior, you got to live to that standard every single day. And so in terms of how we prepare, nothing changes if you're in that role or not in that role. The only thing that changes is you get the opportunity to go do it. And that's the best part, is we're going to train these guys that have those opportunities. And when they get those opportunities, to take the most of them. And shoot, who says it can't be me making those plays? And so when that opportunity comes, man, cut it loose and have fun and act a fool and make a play. No, it's awesome to see all those guys. Like I said, from the first-day freshmen to the 6-year seniors, everybody's growing. I'm growing every single day. And those guys help me grow. They make me a better person. And so I just try to do the same thing for those guys and grow those guys every single day, and hopefully teach them some football along the way. And obviously have a lot of fun doing it together, but at the same time holding the high standard of wide receiver play at Boise State in all facets, run game, pass game, and special teams, because we want to impact the game as many ways as we can.
And it's interesting, Jay. I mean, I've asked a couple questions about it. You have, and one of the storylines is kind of what Tim Plow was saying at that first practice or that first media day, where, of course, you'd obviously rather have Khalil Shakir, but there are some unintended benefits, I guess, potentially of not having a number one star receiver. You know, and of course, you're going to say that when you don't have the guy, right? You're going to play it as positively as you can. You're not going to go, yeah, we're pretty much screwed. We don't have our top guy anymore. But one of the storylines or things that the coaches are saying is that if you don't have a number one guy, it's harder for the defense to game plan. It's better for your offense because you're not game planning to try to throw the ball to one guy. Other guys maybe get a chance to step up. And for the quarterback, he's not always looking at, trying to force the ball to Khalil Shakir. Other guys are going to get involved. And talking to Matt Miller and some of the coaches, it does, in the first scrimmage, I think 5 receivers had at least 2 catches, according to Andy Avalos. So it does seem like the ball's getting spread around a little more. And that is one of, more guys are getting involved, which may make the offense a little more dynamic, a little more, unpredictable without Khalil Shakir.
Yeah. And that very, very well might be the case.
You'll still take
sometimes I don't know how much I buy it, but yeah. These are the cards they've been dealt, so they have to play them, right? And somebody will emerge, Khalil was special. He was one of the greatest in school history. We see that he's, off and running in the NFL. So those are big shoes to fill, but somebody will step up because somebody has to step up. And it might be more of the committee approach, but like I said, somebody is going to have a 60 catch season. Like that's going to have to go somewhere. And, maybe the person that, that kind of in the prove it moment for him is a guy like Hank Bachmeier. I mean, Khalil was so trustworthy, right? How many times last year did he win a bunch of those 50-50 balls? Like he turned what we call 50-50 into like 80-20 or 90-10, it seemed like. And so those are also, we can talk about lining up and running routes and catching passes, but who's also that guy? Who is that dude? Who's the guy that you're on the road at BYU trying to get your first road win over a top 10 team? And I believe, wasn't it True Road top 10 school history first? I can't remember, something along the lines of that. Who's the guy that makes the game sealing catch though? I mean, like, between 2 defenders, who is that guy? And so we can talk about the simple stuff, but stuff like that it's kind of hard to measure on a stat sheet. That's the person that has to emerge for Boise State as well.
Yeah, if it's 3rd and 6 right now to run it, be able to run out the clock if you get the first down and win the game, who is Hank Bachmeier throwing to, and who do you have the most confidence in right now to make that catch? That's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
It's some things they still have to figure out. They may know, but they're not telling us right now. One of the guys that I think a lot of fans are excited about, though, Austin Bolt continues to have his name mentioned by the coaches. Apparently did some things in the scrimmage, according to Andy Avalos. Here's Matt Miller on Austin Bolt.
He's doing a good job. Yeah, he's I think the same thing I've been telling you guys. It's his first season actually playing receiver, and you really see the growth he's having, not only as a deep threat, but in his transition as an intermediate route runner and getting comfortable playing space out there. And so he's doing a good job. His best football is in front of him, and he's going to continue to work hard and reach his potential.
Jay, we all hyped up Austin Bolt before his freshman year. Nothing ever happened. I feel like now he's getting really hyped up again by us, but I mean, it's because of what the coaches are saying, and they're telling us this is finally going to be his year. What are expectations at this point? What should be seen for Austin Bolt? Because it does seem like he's finally at least going to get on the field in some capacity.
I think the thing that I will say is it seems like Austin Bolt is in the best position to have success that he's been in since he's been on the Boise State football roster. He has solidified himself at one position. He is growing at said position. He is gaining experience, and now there is opportunity. So it is all there for momentum to start, happening. I guess. Yeah. I would say that it feels like he's in the best position to succeed since he's been on campus so far.
Couple quick hitters before we get out of here, Jay. Cameron says, does Eric McAllister see the field at all?
Great question. I mean, he is another guy that's battling. He's a young dude, man. I will say, I remember back in the day when we talked with Khalil Shakir at Mountain West Media Days in 2021. He had some good things to say about Eric. The way that he goes about his business. I remember Shaq saying some good things about Eric. So he's another guy that's in a position battle though that is going to have to fight his way through the depth chart in order to get on the field.
Josh wanting to know if there's any Corvallis tailgates planned. Where can we get that Jay Tust live shot the night before the game like we did down in Orlando last year? I'm like 0 for 4. I'm like 0 for 4. Apparently Oregon State bars and pizza places don't want us there. So they don't reserve seating. They don't reserve seating for that many people on Friday nights. So we may just need to take over a place unofficially without being invited. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out. I don't really want to give somebody business that doesn't want to help us out or reserve seating for us. But if we have no place else to go, but I am working on it, and hopefully we can come up with some idea, Josh, in the near future. Okay, Bro Chill wants to know about the tight end group. We'll try to get to them later this week. We're out of time here. Rudy, he says, if we start earlier, do you go longer? Well, we're 1 minute and 15 seconds over. So, yes, we go longer when we start earlier. Hopefully won't be doing it much at 8 a.m., but it worked better today for our schedules with practice at 9 a.m. So catch the practice footage. And then we got two interesting guys today, Jay, that we'll be talking to after practice, Billy Bowens and Markel Reed, two guys trying to, have been hyped up a lot, have played some, both kind of in similar spots. Markel's actually, started some more games, but I think both guys could be potential impact players this year.
Two more guys that are good interviews, man. I mean, that's a value to me because I try to, we try to create stuff that's fun to watch, and these guys are both very engaging and fun to watch. So big seasons on tap for both of them. They're both seniors. Technically, they probably could come back another year if they wanted, but I'm sure that both want to have the type of seasons that would make that decision a little tougher. So
yeah, well, you can hear them on KTVB tonight on all the different newscasts with Jay coming up, all the different stuff they'll have this week. But after practice, I'm sure you guys will get the full videos up on YouTube. We'll have them up on YouTube as well. Make sure you're following the Bronco Nation News and KTVB YouTube channels as well, so you can get all the practice stuff that doesn't make it on the news or onto the show. But Jay, appreciate your time, man. We'll see you out there today at Boise State, and always a pleasure, sir.
Sounds good, bud.
All right, there he is, Jay Tust. And don't forget, the Winston Venables show is coming up at 9 a.m. tomorrow. 9 a.m. tomorrow, the debut of the Winston Venables show. Former Boise State player, assistant coach, Winston Venables, now part of the Bronco Nation News family. And he will join me every Wednesday at 9 a.m. here on the Bronco Nation News social media channels. Great insights. So bring your questions. Bring your comments. Just bring it for Winston Venables tomorrow at 9 a.m. And it's going to be a very interactive, fun show where Winston will take your questions, your comments, and we're going to have a lot of fun, doing a great job with Winston Venables on board as part of Bronco Nation News. We have two more announcements, at least one, hopefully two more announcements in the near future, by the way, of another addition to the family in terms of the shows. So we're rolling at Bronco Nation News. We appreciate everybody. Hopefully you're taking advantage of that Fall Camp 22 special. You can get a full year subscription for just $52 using Fall Camp 22. We've had feature stories on George Halani, on Steph Cobbs, on Jonah Dalmas, on I forget who else has been up there, but we'll have one on Tyreque Jones going up later today. We're going to have Billy Bowens as well. So we're giving you content on the site, and then we're able to obviously do what we're doing here on the social media shows thanks to your support of Bronco Nation News. So Fall Camp 22 is that promo code. You get a full year subscription, $1 a week, just $52. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. That's the easiest way, as I said, to get all of our content. You just go to youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. That's free and easy. You click subscribe. Then anytime we post the full 12 minutes of Matt Miller, the full 13 minutes from Tyreque Jones, we had both those up within an hour of the press conferences ending yesterday. So if you can watch the full videos there, we put the practice highlights up there as well as all the live shows where it's easy to interact with in the comment section there on the YouTube channel. So help us out. Subscribe, youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. That'll do it for today's show. We appreciate everybody and thank everybody for checking us out today. BJ Rains at Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. We appreciate Jay Tust. Sorry for the show being a little earlier today, just how it goes sometimes with schedules and all that. But Winston Venable tomorrow, Mike Prater Thursday, Jay Tust Friday. So a full week still coming at you here at Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. And again, content coming to the site today as well. So hopefully you'll check that out. We appreciate everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your day. If news breaks, as always, we can jump back on here. My family has been visiting. They are heading out today. My wife's heading back to continue her travel nursing in Missouri. Both my kids are heading back to actually go to the fall semester of school in St. Louis. So going to be a sad day for me as my family leaves, but I am excited to get down to business and focus on the site here and work and really kick some tail this fall with Bronco Nation News. So I got a lot of fun stuff planned. I think I'll even be out at the soccer game on Thursday, the opening night for the Boise State soccer team. I believe I'm going to go cover that game. So got a lot of things in the works here at Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. So appreciate everybody for checking us out. Thanks for watching the video, and hopefully you have a great rest of your day. And we will talk to you with Winston Venable, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.
Ooh, the gym. Old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, Fly Fishing Guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah. Nah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah. Try it sometime.
At ICCU, to make a difference, it takes just one connection. A friendly face. An open ear. A helping hand. And then something amazing happens. We find out that we're better together. This is what Idaho Central does in our communities every day. We help our members with the small things and big dreams. This is what believing in you is all about. Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. Rowpaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.